Hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Today, we're going to review this guy right here. This is the Ayaneo Pocket Air Retro. I've been enjoying this. I do have the base model here with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. This is on Indiegogo right now, and it is a device that is being released at the same time as some of the most difficult competition you can imagine. Let's just say it. This guy right here, the Odin 2 Pro. Yeah, this is the device to get in all scenarios, except for a few things that we're going to talk about today that I think could sway you towards this guy right here. But first, let's talk a bit about the unit itself. So, one of the things that I really like is the packaging. This is premium packaging, and in fact, I would argue this packaging is more premium than what the Odin 2 arrived in. It has a nice texture to it. I like the retro style. I like the coloring of it. I just really like everything about this packaging for this. Again, I do have the 6 gig retro white, 128 gigabyte. It's got the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 chipset. And although I haven't seen any announcement, because they're calling this the Retro White and Retro Edition, I do believe there might be other colors and editions in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. One of the things, though, that really liked about this packaging and about the premium of it is the attention to detail. And this right here, this little bag of extra buttons that shipped with the unit. Now, I don't know if this is only for these Indiegogo early bird devices, but I really like that, and I think that's a nice touch that Ayaneo did to give to the unit there. Overall, this has a really nice form factor. For one, on the other Ayaneo device that I have, the Air Plus here, which is a Windows handheld, it has the fingerprint reader on the left side. I am right-handed, so I really like that they moved it to the right side. You can see these two guys here together. This is pretty much the same shell, a little bit bigger. So this is more sleek, more slender, because this is Android, and just more pocketable, although it's not really pocketable, but more slim and easier to hold. This unit's a little chunkier, and a little thicker, but really very similar casings there. I like the clickiness of the stacked shoulders. Nice. They're firm, but not too tight. They have a nice texture to them. Nice little imprint with the trigger names, left back, left trigger, right back. I do love this fingerprint reader. It's quick. It's very, very quick, and just, turns on the machine just very fast. Just to show you right there, just works like nothing. So I really like that a whole lot. It has nice air vent here. The fan can get a little bit loud at times, but you do have full control over the fan. Just like with the Odin, you can go in here and you can just change the speed of the fan. And you can hear there, we've got it up a little high so you can see what it sounds like. So it is a little bit loud on that. It doesn't, things that I don't like, it doesn't have as much RBG. Yes, I'm a shrill for that, but I really like how the Odin has these, colors. It looks really bright. Now, if you're trying to do this at night and don't want anybody to see, that's not a good thing. But if you're alone and you really want to have some of the, coloring there, it is really, really nice to have that. So again, the RBG is just not all that impressive on this device here. Let's talk about this screen for a second. This is an OLED 5.5-inch screen, and it is gorgeous. The Air Plus has a LCD IPS screen, which is 6 inches. So you can see it's a little bit bigger. It is bigger. But I would argue that for me, the 5.5-inch I think is a sweet spot. I really like the reduction in size and weight that it brings with this, compared to the bigger screen. And although this is a pretty decent screen, and of course the Odin has a very beautiful screen as well, this OLED just kills it. The OLED is gorgeous. I mean, it's just drop dead gorgeous. And it's hard to go back to another screen once you're used to something like this. So it's another thing that I think that is really just beautiful here. And I will have a future videos showing gameplay footage. This is more the review of the unit. The Dimensity chipset is fairly capable. It really is not going to play Switch, especially not this 6 gig version, which is, okay. But it's going to play GameCube. It's going to play PS2. It plays it beautiful. I haven't ran into any issues. The battery life on this thing, that's another thing that's just amazing. I haven't done any in-depth testing, but I've had this thing running, and look at that, 61%, more than 2 days left of battery. The Odin, which has a more powerful chipset, right here, we'll just go and look at its battery real quick and see what it's showing me. And for the Odin 2, it has about 16 hours left at 75%. So you can see that this is getting more efficient battery. Now, it may be due to the chipset, it may be the settings, but I have found that using this, I'm getting better battery life overall, even though this has a bigger battery in it. So that's another thing I really like about this versus the Odin for that. But again, the Odin 2 is just, man, that's just like the top of the line. Battery life on Windows, not good. I'm not getting anywhere near as I am on this. This does have an AMD Mendocino chip in it versus the Dimensity 1200 that's in this chipset, so that's a difference there as well. The buttons are nice and clicky. It has this special button right here where you can go in and real quickly and you can change your settings, change your performance. So much like the Odin, the software here is pretty good. You can change your fans, you can change your controller, you can change your RGB. You can do little widgets right here to make very quickly change everything like that. So that button's pretty good. You got a back button here. Now, a few things that I don't like about this is I don't like that the Dimensity chip is not quite as powerful as the Snapdragon on the Odin 2. So, yes, this chip is awesome, but it's not as awesome as the Odin 2 and really could be done better. I do love the ergonomics and the software on here. It's Android 12 versus Android 13 that we have on the Odin. So again, a difference there. I think they will update that and bring it upwards to that. I like that this has a SIM card slot. That is another thing that is just really another point for it against the Odin. If you want to have a SIM card slot, so when you're somewhere without Wi-Fi and you need to do that retro achievement or you want to download something, you can do that. I like also the way that this is done. It's a combined micro SD with the SIM card, so it's all together in one. Makes it easy to get in and out of there, unlike the Pimax where I have to use the little cell phone thing to push it through. I love the D-pad. The D-pad here, this is one of the better D-pads. It's the same D-pad that is on the Air Plus, and although this is a fairly competent, good D-pad, I will say that the D-pad, for me anyways, is superior. And I'm sure I may get lots of comments challenging that, but for me, I love this D-pad. I wish it had more ports. I'm sorry, more buttons. I like these paddles on the back that you can assign. I wish that had that on there. That's one thing I would recommend they have on there that does not have on there. But all in all, this is definitely a premium product that just is at a time where the Odin just came out and just, you know, really kind of outdid it. If you want the smaller form factor, that weighs less, that's comfortable, premium packaging, an OLED screen, a SIM slot for, you know, mobile data, and a better D-pad, that is what's in favor of this. However, if the gaming experience and ultimately what you can play is where you're at, the Odin 2 is still going to be the superior device. I am looking forward to seeing what they continue to do with this. I think it's good for us gamers, the competition between AYN and Ayaneo. And I like that, you know, we're getting better and better handhelds. I hope the price will reduce due to this competition, that we can keep going. Well, guys, that has been my review of the Retro Pocket Air Retro from Ayaneo and Retro White. This is still up on Indiegogo. Again, if you can get your hands on this, I'd probably upgrade to the 8 gig and 256 gig model for a little bit more. Again, the base model is okay, but this is probably, the 8 gig is probably the better buy. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, and let me guys know in the comments if you're liking this content and if there's anything you want to see. Again, you've been watching Retro Gaming with Dead Fred. Thanks for watching.